Nyob, Miwaukee, welcome to our first program on WMLW The M, where we bring to you the first Hmong over-the-air television broadcast in southeastern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. We would like to thank WMLW for hosting us, and we will continue to bring you impactful news to enrich the lives in our community. The word Nyob means hello in the Hmong language. It is generally used to welcome people or greet people. So, hello and welcome to our first show. Today, we'll take you to meet Judge Kristy, an amazing woman who defied incredible odds as a refugee immigrant to become the first Hmong elected judge in the country. We will also take you to Fox Valley Technical College in Appleton, Wisconsin, as United Hmong American Association organized a student career fair for Hmong students in the Fox Valley and surrounding area. Not only that, we will have important news within the Hmong community to announce and also share with you pieces of our rich and colorful culture. From a refugee camp in Thailand to sitting on a bench in the Miwaukee County Circuit Courtroom, newly elected Judge Kristy defied great circumstances to get to where she is today. Nyob Miwaukee's Dawn Yang takes us on an exclusive look inside Judge Yang's courtroom and her journey to become the first elected Hmong woman judge in the United States.
Miwaukee is now in a special session for the purpose of swearing in the Honorable Kristy Yang. The program is now turned over to the Honorable.
Let's just dive right in. How does it feel to be the first elected Hmong judge in the country?
So at this time, of course, I still wake up and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm judge. But for the most part, it hasn't really changed the way I feel about day-to-day life and doing my job.
And I know that you ran on a campaign of being a refugee child or living in a refugee camp. Tell us a little bit about your childhood or basically growing up with refugee parents. What were some of the challenges?
Well, I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand, and when we came here, I could only say Pepsi, please. So I think when I think back to my upbringing and the struggles that my family and I went through, it is very surprising that I was able to weather through the challenges, and it's been a struggle. I mean, I can't deny that. There were absolutely obstacles and challenges for myself personally, but also as a child growing up, seeing your parents go through their struggles and living through that.
In 1979, when my parents arrived at Ban Vinai, a refugee camp in Thailand for Hmong refugees who had escaped Laos after the Vietnam War, you could say that they felt they could not dream. However, it is precisely at times like this that dreams are needed. Having grown up with Kristy as my big sister, I've seen her stand up to adversity and hold true to her principles and values. Her resilience and dedication to doing what is right are the exact characteristics that are required of a judge.
I'm really humbled every day that the voters of Miwaukee County voted. I'm here to do a very important job, so it's a very humbling experience, and it's an honor and a privilege on a daily basis.
As we all know, our individual successes are very much also the successes of those who loved and supported us along the way. Since Long's passing, it has taken 3 of us to try and do a fraction of what he did. And so this historical and momentous event is not without great sadness for our family. It has been an incredible journey to have experienced the highest of highs with Kristy's win and the lowest of lows with the sudden loss of my brother-in-law. While we will never be complete again, it gives us comfort to know that Long's dream and legacy lives on through his wife and his 3 beautiful girls. Thank you.
When we had nothing, the only thing we had was an opportunity to go and learn, to go to school and learn something. And hopefully, not that it'd be a guarantee, but that hopefully with that knowledge, we can turn that into something that would be helpful for ourselves and then for our family. So my parents were absolutely my anchors. They kept me grounded. I was able to do the things I did because they reminded me to stay focused. Well, this is the gallery where people will come in and sit. The court is a public space. This is open to the public. The court is open to 8:30, and that's when cases are called. This is the jury box where the jury will sit.
So on a typical day, on average, how many cases do you preside over?
Well, right now we have roughly over 600 pending cases, but if we counted pending and cases that were closed or not yet closed, but I think we counted all the cases that we're assigned to, it's over 1,000 cases. These tables are for the attorneys. This is where the state sits, and then that's where the defense attorney and the defendants will sit. And then we have the jury box up there. Well, they listen to the evidence during jury trial, and they will make decisions based on guilt, based on the evidence that they hear. They decide the case, basically. Before I started my job on August 1, I had shadowed the judge who I would be taking over his calendar. And during one of my times shadowing him, he leaned back in his chair and he, let out a big sigh, and he said, "Wow, so you see how exhausting this can be?" And I looked at him like, all you did was talk. How can that be exhausting? But it is very exhausting. It's the thought process, the critical thinking that goes into it. So with each case that comes before you, you're, of course, viewing that case, thinking about that case. You're making sure that you consider all the relevant things that and factors that you need to consider. And then, of course, you have to talk, and you do most of the talking, and so it can be very exhausting, and it is.
If there are young folks out there that's really wanting to dedicate their careers or their lives to making a difference, do you have any word of encouragement for them, any inspiration you want to leave the community with?
It is about doing well and doing good for our community. And our community, the Hmong community, is a subset of the community. And I think when we can champion issues in the Hmong community, we should be able to champion issues outside the Hmong community. The strength of the Hmong community is going to be the individual who is able to go in between all these sub-communities and yet still champion the same issue or similar issues. And so when we know that someone is good at a particular or has a particular set of skills, then it's at that time and moment that we as a community need to come together.
What an inspiring story. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Your accomplishment has and will continue to pave a positive path for generations to come. Stay with us, we'll be right back. But before we go to break, did you know that there are between 14 to 15 million Hmong people in the world? China's Hmong population has the highest at 9.4 million. Vietnam comes in second at a little more than 1 million, Laos at about 600,000, and US and Thailand at about 250,000. There are also Hmong people living in Australia, France, Canada, and even in Argentina. That's all for now. We'll be right back.
When it comes to starting your own business, it can be overwhelming and challenging. At the Hmong, Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce, we understand how important it is to give you resources to build and expand your business. That's why we've designed our services to generate rapid results to help businesses of all sizes and across all industries. Hmong, Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce, growing businesses in Wisconsin.
Most things in life come with a price. And it's one that you're willing to pay. But you'd never say, it costs too little. Which is why we offer straightforward options for your everyday financial needs, with better rates and lower fees, so you have more money for the things that really matter. Landmark Credit Union, you're worth more here.
Welcome back to Nyob, Miwaukee. Here's what's going on in our community. On March 15, 2018, a local Hmong war hero passed away. Colonel Sein Da-hyung was one of the last secret war colonels that aided the United States in the later part of the Vietnam War. Family, friends, and fellow Hmong soldiers from all over the country came to support the Jong family and to pay respect to one of Hmong's legendary colonel at Krause Funeral Home in Brookfield. Let's go see what people had to say.
We are so honored to be able to join you, to pay tribute not only to the Colonel here in remembrance today, but to pay tribute to his life, both his life of service, in particular from 1959 until 1975, but then his continued service here in Wisconsin, in the United States, and the impact he's had on so many people here across the state and really around the country. And that's why it's appropriate here to recognize it here today with this special service of remembrance, as you've had for the last several days now, special services to recognize that when we think of the Vietnam War, there's no way that American troops and American allies could have performed without leaders like the Colonel.
So on behalf of the state of Wisconsin, I want to thank Colonel Zhang for his service, for our community, for our state, and to our country. Because of who this man was, because of what this man did, the world is a much brighter place. Thank you, Colonel Zhang. Thank you.
And whereas Colonel Sainan devoted the remainder of his life training leaders within the community, promote education and civic engagement, and play a vital role in establishing the Lao Hmong Veterans of Minnesota and other nonprofits in Wisconsin until his passing on March 15, 2018.
He was a leader in Laos, and he was a family leader, a community leader here. They were brothers in arms. Without them, like I said, a lot of our guys would never have made it home.
Our hearts and prayers are with the Hsiong family. We thank the Colonel Sein Da-hyung for your leadership and service. The Oshkosh 2018 Hmong Memorial Day Festival will be held on May 26th through the 27th at Winnebago County Community Park in Oshkosh. There will be dance and vocal competition and, of course, tournaments in soccer, volleyball, and topspin. All booth registration must be completed beforehand. There will be no on-site registration. For more information, go visit Hmong National Memorial Day Festival's Facebook page or call the Oshkosh Hmong Service Center at 920-426-5054. The Hmong Women's Society will be having their Metamorphosis Hmong fundraiser event on June 23rd this year at Miwaukee Asian Market Ponsavan Hall. They invite you to come and experience a night full of the best Hmong fashion design and dance competition, followed by a live band party. Funds raised for this event will be used for educational programs, leadership development, cultural preservation, and overseas projects. Tickets prices are $30 per person or $200 for a table of 8. For more information, contact Hoa Vang at 920-254-8711. After almost 4 years of searching for a new home, Grace Hmong Alliance Church found a new place of worship located in the city of Wauwatosa. Last month, the congregation had their grand opening, which brought in a full house. Mayor Kathy Eli and Chief Police Barry Weber also welcomed their congregation to the city of Wauwatosa for the church Palm Sunday worship. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll take you to Appleton, Wisconsin and join in on the United Hmong American Association's career fair at Fox Valley Technical College. But before we go to break, here's a piece of Hmong history. Always feeling tired, low in energy, or having trouble concentrating? Ginseng is a miracle root that can make you healthier, stronger, feel, and look younger. It is scientifically proven to energize your body, strengthen your immune system, and fight the effects of aging when consumed with your diet. For over 2 decades, Hyung Ginseng has been growing the finest ginseng right here in Wisconsin. Hyung Ginseng, the best American ginseng, for a healthier, stronger, and younger you. For more information, call 617-309-0438 or visit us on Facebook at Hyung Ginseng Inc.
Would you like to earn top dollars for the sale of your house or investment? How about buying one with 0 to little closing? Are you facing foreclosure and looking for possible ways out of it? What about earning multiple streams of revenue or building wealth through real estate? Join Creative Results, one of the most innovative real estate company with 25 plus combined years experience to reach your goal. Visit us at www.creativeresults.biz or call our teams in the Miwaukee and Appleton area.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a nurse, a firefighter, IT specialist, or a CNC machine operator? Well, the United Hmong American Association, also known as UHAA, a nonprofit organization comprised of local dedicated volunteers with a passion for serving our Hmong youth, gave young Hmong students that opportunity. On March 9, 2018, Nyob Miwaukee was invited to attend UHAA's career fair at Fox Valley Technical College in Appleton, Wisconsin. Hmong high school students in Fox Valley area were bussed in to attend this event. Let's go take a look at what all went on at this event.
I want you guys to ask questions today. This is the time for you guys, okay? The other thing I want you guys to do is learn something new today, okay?
This is very important as far as our population. This is needed in our community. Our students are some of them are behind, some of them do not understand what it means to go to college. As a professional and as somebody that went through, we need to go back and we need to help our students. So today we have several components, okay? We have our most important session that we have here is Meet the Professionals, which they're going to meet colleges and they're going to meet professionals that we're bringing in. There's no career fairs that I've heard of that actually does that. So we bring in a lot of Hmong professionals, doctors, lawyers, firefighters, anybody that we can bring in so that the students have an opportunity to actually talk to them. The students have an opportunity to, you know, when they're going to get that education, they don't know what they're going through. As when we were going through, it was the same thing. It was a dark path. Now we can actually have an opportunity for them to talk to those individuals, to have a little light at the tunnel and say, hey, this is where you need to come. And that's the goal here.
The reason why I'm here is because I kind of wanted to explore. This is actually my second time going, and I wanted to explore all the careers I could possibly go to after I graduate and all the colleges that I could see where I wanted to go to.
I already know what I want to be, so I came here to see the opportunities of classes that I can take later on in the future to succeed where I want to go.
Actually, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I came here to see if there was any options or opportunities for me to go to when I'm older.
I just wanted to see what they had here because I wanted to explore and want to know what I want to be in the future because there's so much opportunities in the world.
Today we have a college fair that is sponsored by the college and UHAA, which is the United Hmong American Association, and it is an effort to expose Hmong students to all the various college opportunities across the state, not just at Fox Valley Technical College, but it is to provide that fundamental exposure that our students need in order to start seeing themselves beyond the box that traditional minority students are confined to. So we want to give these students an opportunity to explore all the college options and explore all the career options of the future, and we believe that starting early is the best way for us to achieve that goal.
Yeah, this is actually my first year here, so I think it's pretty interesting to come here. If it's again next year, then I'll probably come again.
I want you to pay attention to the group on your name tag, okay?
UHAA's main purpose is to promote and support the youth in our Hmong community. And the purpose of it is because a lot of us who are in our generation grew up without this kind of support. And we once we became adults and we realized, wow, this would have been so helpful for us because a lot of us kind of went through the dark and figured things out on our own, which is not a bad thing. But we just wanted to be a resource there for the Hmong students in the community. We feel like there's still a gap, especially between their parents and the students in in this era. And so we wanted to fill that gap a little bit and just expose Hmong students to higher education, whether they move on to college or they do anything besides that, just to better themselves in their lives. So as far as activities, we change it up every year just to make it interesting and fun and interactive. So this year what we're doing is because we have a large number of students, we're splitting them up into 4 different groups. And then depending on what career choice they're interested in, we do have Fox Valley Tech organizing 3 different tours where the students actually get to tour the classrooms of the different career choices that they're interested in. And so everybody's doing something different throughout the entire day. So we call them breakout sessions. And so everybody will come back and meet for lunch and break, and then they split up again. So they'll get to experience a little bit of everything throughout the entire day.
I think it's pretty interesting seeing new people around here, all the Hmong people too. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a really nice experience.
I think the best part was like having us come together as one and like finding new things about life.
Today I'm facilitating the Be Your Own Boss, because just my experiences owning assisted living facilities and the home care and staffing agency. Hopefully, I can relay some of this information to the younger generation so that when they grow up and they're ready to take that role, they have that information, or they can at least think, oh, I heard that somewhere,
I think it's a really good experience. It's very beneficial for kids who don't really have the opportunity to find people to reach out to. So this is a really good opportunity to find out who you really are and what careers you want to pursue in the future.
What UHAA does is we try to involve the parents in a lot of our events. We invite them to come when we give scholarships to the students. We invite them to come watch their students at our talent show events. And then one thing I want to tell students, my message to all the students is just explore everything so you know what you want and you know what you don't want. That's the most important thing.
What a great way to engage students into the workforce. More than over 70 youth attended this career fair, and about a dozen vendors represented their organizations at the event. For more information to support or donate to UHAA, visit their website at uhaa.org. Stay with us. When we come back, we will go into the kitchen to show you how to prepare a quick and easy popular Hmong dish using pork chops and mustard greens.
Most things in life come with a price. And it's one that you're willing to pay. But you'd never say, it costs too little. Which is why we offer straightforward options for your everyday financial needs, with better rates and lower fees, so you have more money for the things that really matter. Landmark Credit Union, you're worth more here.
Welcome back. One of the most unique things in every culture that brings people together is food. Pork and mustard green soup is a staple Hmong comfort food. So let's go to our kitchen to see how Thay prepares this dish.
Welcome everyone. Pork and mustard green soup and fried pork chops are common dishes for Hmong families. It's also pretty common at large Hmong parties. There are various ways you can cook this dish, but I'm going to show you how to get 2 dishes out of this piece of pork steak. I'm just trying to be a little resourceful here. Plus, Hmong meals usually comes with rice, some grilled, broiled, or fried meat, and vegetable soup. If you never had this dish or tried making it, I hope you try this recipe. So Hmongs usually use this type of mustard green. It's a lot lighter, the stem is wider. Unlike the Chinese mustard green, which we call zhaopan, the ones that we're using has a wider stem and it's lighter in color, the leaves are lighter, and it doesn't have that strong of a radish flavor to it. So it's really great in soup, and you can find them at your local Asian grocery store. So besides the mustard green, we have a piece of lemongrass, some ginger, garlic, wonton seasoning, some salt, black pepper, and of course your pork steak. Now I like to use this type of pork steak because it has the right amount of fat on it, a piece of bone which I can use it for the broth, and this is how I'm going to make 2 dishes out of this piece of meat. I'm only cooking for 2 days, so in a medium-sized pot, boil up 4 cups of water. Throw in a couple of slices of ginger and a piece of lemongrass. Now this is very important. Wait until the water boils before you throw the bones and the meat into the water. Add about ½ a tablespoon of salt and a pinch of wonton seasoning. Turn down the heat, cover, and let it simmer for at least 20 minutes to get all that pork flavor out of the bones and meat. While the broth is brewing all that pork flavor out, score the pork steak to make it fry evenly. Lightly dust the chops with a little bit of salt and wonton seasoning and set it aside. In a non-stick frying pan, coat the bottom with some vegetable oil. Once the oil is hot, place the chops in. Turn the heat to medium or medium-high for about 5 minutes until golden brown on the bottom side before you flip it. While that is cooking, cut the greens to about 1-inch pieces so it's easier for you to chew. Let's check on the pork chops now. There's that nice golden color that we're looking for. Let's give the other side some time on the heat before flipping it one last time. Now that my pork broth and ginger and lemongrass has been brewing for a while, taste it for salt, add more salt if needed to fit your palate. If you're happy with the flavor, crank the heat back up, wait until it boils, then throw in the mustard greens. Stir it around for a bit, give it some time in the heat, then turn it off. It's important not to overboil your mustard greens, or else they'll turn yellowish brown and it'll lose its texture. You want that nice dark color with a little bit of bite into it. Now that the pork chop is done, take it out and plate it. Using the pan dripping, throw a little bit of garlic, cook it for a bit, and also, if you like it, green onions. Serve it with jasmine rice and some pork and mustard green soup and enjoy. It's simple and delicious, and it's oh so good. For this recipe, go to our Nyob Miwaukee Facebook page. It's so good. Back to you, my dear.
Wow, doesn't that look delicious? I could go for some of that right about now. Thank you for joining us today for our first show on WMLW The M. Before we say goodbye, we would like to leave all parents watching today with this quote. The most precious jewel you'll ever have around your neck are the arms of your children. Until next time, may our community continue to be blessed and inspired. Have a wonderful day.